to see you guys not on, like, I mean, I love my set visits with you guys at Happy's Place, but we get to be all dressed up today.
You guys are hot, man.
Do you still blush when he says stuff like that?
Heck yeah.
I love it's date night tonight for you too.
It is a date night for us. We got all spiffied up and
It's
been
a
over
date night,
here.
and my date gets to sing, and I get to sing I get to watch my date sing.
Yeah.
So
You're
we're-
the ultimate fan. We know that.
we are so excited.
We're each other's biggest fans.
You get to celebrate the Golden Girls tonight.
Yeah.
How excited are you, especially recreating the set up there? I mean, it's going to be a magical moment.
I had no idea we were going to be on the set. I thought we were just going to be on stage, Kimberly and Karen and I. And we walked in there, and it's just absolutely beautiful. We love singing it, and I love singing with those girls.
Yeah.
Little Big Town's one of my favorite groups.
I love the country music representing here at the Emmys. I just talked to Lainey, and I'm like, girl, I think you're the only person wearing a cowboy hat here.
I love
You're
it.
probably right.
So we are heading into the next season of Happy's Place this fall. We have you to thank for getting the Taxi reunion we have been waiting for years between Christopher Lloyd and Carol Kane.
Yes, yes, yes.
They were the best.
So much fun.
They were the best.
Sweethearts.
Seeing them together on set again, I mean, was it just magical?
It was magical. We were all giddy, so nervous. Everybody wanted a picture with them. All the writers, all the producers came down. We couldn't get any work done. They were wanting pictures.
And I had my favorite movie is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Christopher Lloyd was very young when he was in it. All I wanted to do was pick his brain, and he accommodated me. It was great.
I wouldn't be able to get any work done around them.
That's true.
Hardly
That's
any.
true. But they're great.
I can't wait for our next set visit, hopefully soon.
I hope so.
My place at the bar, the seat is getting cold. I need to go back to the bar.
Absolutely.
You better.
Come anytime.
Listen, you said it on camera. It has to happen.
Absolutely.
Children grieve differently than adults, and sometimes silence is louder than tears. The smallest change, like no longer asking for a bedtime story, can echo louder than sobbing. That's the hidden truth about loss through a child's eyes. Today, we'll uncover how Kelly Clarkson's kids are processing the loss of their father, Brandon Blackstock. Reba McEntire, who's been both a family anchor and wise observer, offers raw insight into how these children are showing resilience, breaking down in private moments, and surprising even adults with strength far beyond their years. You'll hear what most people overlook about grief in children. Quick thought for you. When you were young, how did you first process loss? Did you cry, stay quiet, or try to act okay? Share your answer in the comments. You might be surprised how many people connect with your story, and your words could help someone who's grieving right now. Imagine losing a parent while the whole world is watching. That's the reality for Kelly Clarkson's children after their father, Brandon Blackstock, passed. They aren't just regular kids navigating grief, they're children of celebrities, constantly under the spotlight. This amplifies every step of the healing process. In public, they may smile for cameras, but at home, emotions spill differently. The takeaway here? Children in the public eye need extra safe spaces where masks aren't required. Protecting those private zones is as important as comforting words. Privacy is healing. Reba McEntire isn't just a music legend. She's been a guiding figure in Kelly's world for years. Now, her role extends to quietly observing how the kids are coping and offering gentle wisdom. From her perspective, grief isn't something to rush. She's seen firsthand that kids process in waves, sometimes joyful, sometimes withdrawn. Her advice is simple but powerful. Don't mistake silence for strength, and don't force conversations before children are ready. It's a reminder that patience is a form of love. Healing takes time. Here's something many adults miss. Kids often express grief in behavior, not words. Instead of saying, "I miss Dad," they might have nightmares, lose focus in school, or act out unexpectedly. Reba highlighted this subtle truth, stressing that adults need to look beyond surface calm. Real-world implication? Teachers, friends, and family members can play a huge role by noticing these signals. The actionable takeaway is simple. Listen with your eyes as much as your ears. Silence speaks. When Reba talks about Clarkson's kids, her words carry warmth and reassurance. She's praised their ability to find moments of laughter even in the shadow of loss, a resilience that many underestimate. She believes small victories, like smiling during a family dinner, mark real progress. The real-life impact? Parents and guardians can learn to celebrate the little wins instead of waiting for big breakthroughs. Her core advice: grief isn't a mountain to conquer, it's a series of steps forward. Step-by-step matters. Here's the hardest part. Kelly Clarkson is grieving too, but she can't press pause on motherhood. That balance is brutal, being strong enough to hold your kids up while your own heart is breaking. Reba admires Kelly's openness, saying that showing vulnerability helps the kids realize they don't have to hide their feelings either. The key takeaway? Parents don't need to be unshakable rocks. Modeling healthy grief gives children permission to feel without shame. Vulnerability is strength. Reba shared touching moments where the kids surprised everyone with resilience. Maybe it was making a joke that lightened the mood or insisting on doing a family tradition to honor their dad. These small moments of strength reveal an important truth. Resilience often shows up quietly. In practice, this means adults should watch for glimmers of joy and encourage them, even when they seem fleeting. Real healing isn't loud, it's steady. One insight Reba stressed is the importance of structure. For kids in grief, routines act like anchors in turbulent seas. Regular mealtimes, school drop-offs, even bedtime rituals help restore a sense of normalcy. Real-world impact? When life feels unpredictable, predictability builds safety. The practical step: stick to familiar patterns, even if emotions feel chaotic. In grief, routine isn't boring, it's medicine. In the Clarkson household, music has always been more than a career, it's a lifeline. Reba has noticed how songs become an outlet for emotions too heavy for words. Sometimes, the kids sing with Kelly, other times, they just listen. Music allows them to express what they can't yet articulate. The actionable idea? Encourage grieving kids to channel feelings into creative outlets, whether art, music, or writing. Expression heals where words fail. Why listen to Reba on this topic? Because she's walked through her own share of personal losses, giving her credibility beyond celebrity status. She understands the long shadows grief casts and recognizes when kids need gentleness instead of discipline. That life experience makes her advice resonate deeply with Kelly's family. The real-world implication: wisdom from those who've walked the path before is invaluable. When in doubt, lean on experienced voices. Guidance matters. If you're finding this story meaningful, take a second to subscribe. We bring you powerful stories of resilience, family, and healing insights you won't find in headlines alone. Stay with us. The next chapters of Reba's perspective dive even deeper. For Kelly's kids, life splits in two. On one side, they face cameras and questions. On the other, they retreat to their private world of loss. Reba pointed out that this dual reality can confuse children, making them wonder which version of themselves they're supposed to be. The practical takeaway? Create safe, camera-free spaces where kids don't need to perform. Privacy isn't luxury, it's necessity. Reba emphasizes that healing doesn't happen in isolation. Grandparents, cousins, family, friends, they all form a net that cushions children during grief. In her words, community isn't just support, it's survival. For Kelly's kids, this means having people to lean on when mom can't be everywhere at once. Actionable step? In times of loss, widen the circle of care. Support multiplies strength. Here's a harsh truth: kids often hide pain to avoid adding stress to parents. Reba has seen this pattern before and warns against ignoring it. Suppressed grief can reappear years later as anger, anxiety, or even health issues. The real-world implication? Watch for unspoken emotions. Encourage honest conversations, even if they're short and sporadic. The key takeaway? Expression today prevents explosions tomorrow. Reba cautions against assuming that quiet means okay. She suggests watching for subtle red flags, changes in sleep, loss of appetite, or withdrawing from activities once loved. These signals don't scream, they whisper. Parents, teachers, and caregivers must tune in before silence turns into suffering. The practical takeaway? Don't wait for kids to ask for help. Offer it gently and consistently. Prevention saves futures. Telling stories about Brandon has become an important part of healing. Reba encourages the family to keep his memory alive by sharing funny moments, holiday traditions, and lessons he taught. For children, This transforms grief into connection, reminding them love doesn't vanish with death. Actionable idea? Make storytelling rituals, bedtime memories, photo albums, or even drawing pictures of loved ones. Memory is medicine. Kelly has chosen not to hide her grief from her kids. Reba admires this transparency, saying it teaches children that sadness is normal and survivable. By showing her tears, Kelly shows her strength too. The real-world takeaway? Parents don't need to shield children from every tear. Vulnerability models honesty and creates space for kids to mirror it back. Openness builds trust. Reba remains hopeful for Kelly's children. She believes that with love, patience, and consistent support, they'll not only survive this loss, but grow stronger because of it. Her outlook is realistic. Grief will always be part of their story, but it doesn't have to define their future. The takeaway? Hope isn't naive, it's fuel for resilience. Futures can rise from pain. One overlooked reality is that unresolved childhood grief often resurfaces in adulthood. Reba has seen people carry silent burdens for decades. That's why she stresses the importance of guiding kids now, while their hearts are still learning how to process loss. Practical step? Prioritize emotional health early: counseling, open talks, creative outlets. Early healing prevents lifelong scars. Guidance today shapes tomorrow. Reba's closing reminder is heartfelt. Healing is never quick, but love makes it steady. For Kelly's children, that love shows up in routines, community, and cherished memories of their father. For Reba, the lesson is universal. Grief is permanent, but so is love. The actionable takeaway for anyone watching? Lean into love as the compass through grief. Love endures. In Reba's eyes, Kelly Clarkson's kids are teaching us something powerful. Resilience and grief can exist side by side. Each day brings tears and laughter, fear and strength. Their story reminds us that healing is not about forgetting, it's about carrying forward with love. Stay tuned, because next time, we'll explore another story where family, fame, and survival intertwine in surprising ways. Final disclaimer: not professional advice. Consult a qualified expert as needed.